A crowd of angry Afghans pelted police with stones recently after NATO troops killed a civilian in fighting. Protests like this are common, especially since NATO forces often resort to airstrikes against Taliban and Al-Qaeda hideouts, strikes that sometimes kill civilians. The NATO Secretary General recently tried to reassure Afghans in a visit to Kabul.
It is inevitable in a war that from time to time you have innocent victims. It is inevitable.
A group of American experts just back from Afghanistan say NATO must use air power because there are not enough boots on the ground. John Nagel is a retired U.S. Army officer who now is counterinsurgency expert.
To them, we don't have mutually reinforcing units, and so we call on air power, which does many things very, very well. But again, quoting John Paul Vaughan, is the worst possible weapon to use in counterinsurgency.
On Thursday, U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates said the Pentagon will send in up to 20,000 more soldiers as part of a sustained commitment to the conflict.
Our purpose is to assist the proud Afghan people as they secure their own country and their own destiny.
The American experts say additional troops are also needed to engage the Taliban in some kind of peace talks. Stephen Biddle is a senior fellow at the Private Council on Foreign Relations.
The logic of reinforcement in Afghanistan is to create a situation in which, by changing the military facts on the ground and creating incentives to negotiate, you get an opportunity for a negotiated settlement.
U.S. officials have said they will not pull troops out of Iraq for the buildup in Afghanistan. Biddle agrees with the move, saying both regions are prone to civil wars.
The consequences if this war spreads throughout the Gulf are potentially quite severe, and I don't think that's an outcome that we can safely write off.
The additional military deployment must accompany more efforts for reconstruction and economic development, so says Seth Jones of the RAND Corporation.
The civilian component has clearly been missing in the east and the south, the areas that are most violent, and they're the areas that are most needed.
While the experts do not expect a tipping point in NATO's favor in the conflict until 2010, they see additional troops on the ground as bridge to the time when Afghans can provide their own security. Ravi Khanna, VOA News.